Welcome, welcome, welcome to Straight Talk with Shirley. Thank you so much for being here. We are still in the series of Lead Your Life. Yes, lead your life. It is critical that we lead our lives. And as we talked about so many times, that we are all leaders. Because you're not in front of a group, because you're not leading a team, does not mean you're not a leader. If you're a mom, if you are a partner in a relationship, you're a leader. And in order to lead any organization or any group, you must first lead you and lead you well. So today, the topic is the art of listening. Leaders listen, right? Leaders, since we're all leaders and we focus on that, there's an art to listening. So there's a quote that I love by Stephen Covey. It says, "Seek first to understand, then to be understood." And he's the author of many books, but the one that I remember most, and most people remember, is the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And if you have a chance, do read that. It kind of helps us to understand, the importance of understanding other people before we ask them to do things, before we ask them for anything, but we wait to listen. And I did some research, and the research shows that only 5% of conversations do people walk away feeling heard. And that's a really low number. So listening improves the quality of your conversation. And listen, let me tell you the truth. I used to have trouble listening, especially when I'm, from my relationship perspective. Whatever they're saying, I'm formulating an idea and a response in my head. It took me a long time, more than 20 years, a long time to stop interrupting, to stop thinking about what I want to say and really hear the other person. What I did do in place of that is I started taking notes. Just have a little notepad, write down the points that they're making that I want to either rebut or speak on later, but allow them a safe place to empty out, to say what's on their mind and to be heard, right? And so there are some behaviors that you can do to show active listening. What active listening is, to let the person that's talking to you, especially if you're face to face, know that you heard them, you're hearing them, you're following them, and you're listening. And I have them written here. So the first one is listen without judgment. It is critical that we listen without judging, without formulating what we want to say as they're speaking. That's number one. Number 2 is have eye contact. So if you're talking in person, yes, you can have eye contact. You can smile, you can nod, you say, You can give responses so they realize that you get it. Realize that you're hearing the point that they're making. If you're on the phone, you can say, okay, I hear you, whatever that response is. Okay, You have a response that will convey that you're hearing, that you're listening. And the third thing is do a playback. It is so critical that we do playback. And what a playback is, a summary of what you heard them say. You can say to them, once they're done, this is what I heard you say. And when you do that, it gives them an opportunity to say, yes, that's what I said, and nope, that's not what I meant, and clarify in the real time. They can clarify what they're thinking or what they realize that you heard, and that's not what they said. So we want to up that number from 5% of conversation, people feeling heard, to a higher number. And the way to do that is for us to be intentional about listening. Here's the thing I tell people all the time, now that I learned the art of listening, is we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So we need to utilize our ears more than our mouth. And it took me a long time. When I was getting my coaching certification back in 2013, I had a practice session. And in that practice session, my coach, the teacher, he said, no, you're not here to give advice, Shelia. You're here to listen and then ask them questions so that they can unpack what they just shared. Coaching is not advice. We don't give advice. We may suggest certain things that you may want to try to help you to get to the bottom of what you need to get to, but it is not advice. And it's so important that we listen and we practice the art of active listening so that we can be better leaders, and learn the art of listening so that we can be better leaders. So listening, here's a caveat of some things that you get when you listen well. Number one, it generate really good behavior and better results from your conversation. Number two, it's an act of love, y'all. It's an act of love. It's an act of love. And it builds trust. Who doesn't want fulfillment in their relationship? Who doesn't want to feel like I can trust this person because I've heard their heart, they have heard mine. They have practiced the art of listening when I'm talking, and it deepens your relationship. It's so important. And the important thing is that sometimes things are being shared with us that we don't have an answer to. We don't even know how to respond. Let me let you know this, and you may already know this, but let me remind you if you already know it. The art of being present, just being in their present, just to sit, even if you don't have an answer, conveys a whole lot. And that will definitely deepen your relationship. So remember, there is an art. We talked about some of the skills that you can use, some of the behaviors you can use, and some of the things you can get out of it. So do work with me and help me up the number to more than 5%. Hopefully the next time that they do this research with the data, it will be higher because you're sharing this video, you're helping people to understand how important, and you are also practicing behaviors of listening. Remember, you have one mouth and two ears, and it's critical that we listen to each other. Everyone wants to be heard, everyone wants to be seen, everyone wants to be loved. So it's important that we practice the art of listening. Have a great day, and may God bless you. I am your coach. I am your sister. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.